Yolan True, and welcome to another exciting day in our galaxy, and welcome to another evening officer video. But before I talk about Joachim today, it's a German name, so I really have to concentrate in pronouncing him in English. But before I talk about Joachim, I just want to say, if you're not a subscriber of my channel yet, but do like my videos, then please do subscribe to my channel. And when you do, please also click this little bell and all notifications so you will be notified when another video comes out. But now let's talk about Joachim. He is a rare officer. He's from class science. That means you need science badges to upgrade him. He's from Khan's crew. That means he gets synergy if he's captain from others of that group, or gives synergy to people from that group when they are captain. And he's from the augments, which unfortunately means that you also need independent credits for him if you want to upgrade him. And independent credits is my biggest block for upgrading officers at the moment, because so many of them need them, but they are much harder to get than faction credits. And of course, you have an info text about Joachim if you don't remember him from the Wrath of Khan, for example. He looked a lot different there, so you might want to read that text a little bit. He does have a captain maneuver, which is called Patient Tactician. When attacking a station, Joachim has a 50% chances of greatly increasing the mitigation of the ship for the first round of combat. If that's any use for you, depends on two things. First of all, are you attacking stations? We recently had another incursion, and in this case I have to say congrats to my server 110. That was a tough fight, but in the end we have beaten 118. I hope you're not too angry on me right now if you are from that server, but that was quite an interesting incursion. And the other thing is, how long do you need to fight down the defenses of that station and the ships in there? If it's about 50 rounds, it doesn't matter too much what happens in the first round, but if you only need a few rounds, then a bonus in the first round will be even more interesting. But he's an anti-station officer. And he's got an officer ability called Unflinching Resolve. When attacking a station, Joachim decreases the weapon damage of all opponents' ships and defense platforms by 25%. And that's the more interesting part of Joachim, because, as I said before, there are not so many officers that decrease others' abilities. Mostly they only increase your ship's abilities or your officer's abilities. And in this case, Joachim is one of those with his officer ability that decreases the abilities of another player, and in this case the weapon damage of all ships and defenses, and that by 25%, which is quite a lot. So I usually attack stations during incursion with my PvP crew, with my Freeman crew. That's usually is working quite well. But if you are on a little bit lower level, let's say that, and you will not have a lot of the best PvP officers, Joachim and a Khan's crew is definitely a good thing for cracking a station in incursions and so on. And then you really should have a look at him, because he's much easier to get than today's best PvP crews. How you can get him, we will get there in a moment. But that is definitely a good member of a crew for players on a lower level. And I'm always talking about base raids and incursions. I usually don't raid bases outside of incursion, because you don't find ones where I really can get the amount of resources that I need unshielded, and I don't attack the small ones with a few billions of resources. It makes no use for me. I am in need of trit all the time since I got the Corvus, etc. But it's no use for me to attack those guys for just 5 billion of trit or whatever. And the bigger ones usually do shield, and so I indeed mostly only do base raids during incursion. But one word about that again. Incursion on an game that is also a PvP game. We can discuss if it's just a PvP game or also, I say it's also a PvP game, but it's also a mining game, a research game, a building game, but PvP is part of that game. And during Incursion, you can agree with that Scopely introduced that or not, but they did, and so it is a regular part of this game. If you don't like Incursion, you cannot say to others, I'm not taking part, leave me alone, I just want to do my thing as usual. That will not work. If you don't like Incursion, I know there are people that even hate Incursion, but it is part of the game. But if you don't like it, it's 24 hours. Bring your ships home, raise your shield in a level 19 or lower system, and enjoy a day off. And then you are completely in peace for those 24 hours. But it's 24 hours at max, because several incursions were shorter. The last was 24 hours, once again. But it's 24 hours in a month. And you can live with that if you will not play for 24 hours in a month. But this is part of the game. And there is absolutely no reason to insult people who just play an event that is part of the game. Yeah, because there are so many people that are insulting others because they got destroyed during Incursion. Don't go mining during an Incursion. Don't fly around during an Incursion if you don't want to take part. But Joachim is one of the officers you need for Incursion if you're on a lower level. And so I wanted to bring up the topic here because I saw it again. I saw a lot of screenshots from communications that were just unbelievable. Once again, if you don't like Incursion, if you don't want to take part in Incursion, park your base in a system level 19 or lower. Some of my people in my alliance do that as well. Raise at least a one-day shield, keep your ships at home, and you are completely in peace. And after the 24 hours are gone, send out your miners again and everything will be running under ROE again. And so, no fuss. But you cannot demand from the others that they don't play the event of the game that is up. It's an event with rewards and everything. And of course, most people will play that event. And for some, it's fun. Incursion is only one day, once a month. And that's why, for me, for example, it's fun. Raiding bases is boring. Yeah? Click, attack, click, fly back, click, attack. That's completely boring. I would love the amalgam ability to be even better. But defending people from your own server against stronger enemies, like I had to defend some people against much bigger enemies from the other server, and to annoy them, you even use realtors and whatever if they are too strong for you. But that can be fun. Yeah, it's one little different thing in between. And so if you enjoy it, take part. If you don't enjoy it, take a one-day rest. You know how to do it. Nevertheless, you still want to know how to get Joachim. I'm sorry for the preaching part, but I thought that was necessary after seeing that again. On our server, for example, we have Incursion rules at a certain time before Incursion. We start raid unshielded bases and level 20 plus systems. And at another time, we just purge our galaxy so that there are no idle ships out there that give easy points to the other server, and people still don't get it and still complain about this. It's a rule we even voted on, and people still complain about this and insult others. And so I thought it was necessary to bring that up in one of my videos again. But now we go to the Augment store and have a look at the first recruitment. That's the Augment Recruit 6 here in my case. And there you have Joachim as well. And you can get Joachim shards by spending Augment credits. and you get those augment credits with directives, not directives, with data. When you exchange data, you get augment credits, and with those you can buy 1, 2, or 3 chests here in the augment recruit and have a chance to get Joachim shards. And that's the easiest way to get him. In the other one there was, I guess, no Joachims. No, there was Navi, Pan, and Rima. So he's in the augment recruit, and the other one is the awoken augment recruit, but there is no Joachim. And I haven't really looked there. There are some of those in the normal recruit sections as well, but I would have to have a quick look here with you. No, he's not in the premium, because sometimes you find officers here that I forget then in the while I was concentrating on their main source. And so let's have a quick look here, because we have Rima here and there's Joachim as well in the ultra recruit section. So you have 2 ways of getting Joachim, and one of them is the augment faction store, the other one is the ultra recruit section. And when I'm pronouncing him in the English version, I always have to take care that I call him Joachim and not Joachim, because that's an officer we will very soon talk about as well. But if you want to tell us how you are using Joachim, or as we would say, Joachim, and please put it in the comments. And if you have questions in general or video requests, you know that I read the comments regularly. And in this case, if you want to comment on the incursions, please do as well. The preaching on the incursions was a big part of this video, so of course I would like to know your opinion here as well. And there will be some that disagree with me, I know that. And if you want to see another video right now, the next one is right here in the end screen. I'll see you there. I'll be back.